Life isn't just cherries and puppy dogs and hummingbirds, all right, dude? Life is fucking hard, and sometimes you gotta pack it up, you gotta deal with it, all right? And maybe you just couldn't deal with the reality of how scary it was. Maybe that's that. Let's talk about that. What are you running from?
I'm not a big buff on scary movies. People think I would be because I love Halloween. The movie part of it I appreciate. It's just never been something that I've gotten super wrapped up in. I just don't know.
Well, here's the question that comes up all the time, and you can usually tell a lot about a person by what kind of horror, if they're into horror movies. They say, I mean, horror movies. What kind of horror movies are you into? The psychological, or like The Butcher, or a little mixing of both. A little combination.
Yeah, some are purely like psychological, like almost like thrillers, like
The Mist. That's the worst kind of movie to watch. I don't care what kind of movie it is, but if you just cop out at the end and the guy just wakes up from a dream.
But it's about the experience. It's not always about I watch movies that are like think about. I've watched Naked Gun. I love Naked Gun. That doesn't really come up together in a nice little. They don't wrap that up in a nice little bow at the end. But it was a good experience watching Naked Gun. I like that movie. It's enjoyable to watch.
Speaking of Naked Gun, you brought up that movie Hot Shots recently.
Dude.
Who's like the general, the guy that runs it? He's kind of like Leslie Nielsen. He's got the white hair that just flows around. He's so
I don't know his
dumb.
name. I know
he's just as good. I mean, he's so fucking funny in that movie. He's so dumb.
Having those kind of straight-laced, like very serious, like older men just be dumbasses. Like
nailed it.
There's something infinitely funny about that to me. That's so funny.
Yeah,
I love that. And man, Leslie Nielsen. There's one they made about space. What's the one they made?
That was horseshit though. That was a scam.
That was a scam.
That was a scam.
It was all scam. It was all scam just to make money. That's all movies are. Think about it, guys. Think about it. It's all every one of them. It's a scam.
I'm calling out your name, but you can't hear me. This feels like a game, but no one's winning. I'll reach out for your hand.
You brought the pumpkin beer, so that makes me feel like summer's almost over. It's time.
There's trees changing. They were changing. The times are changing.
Changing colors, yeah. Man, there's a lot more colors now. Things are changing. A lot more colored leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, it's not especially unsettling when you see the uncolored trees, those colors on the trees in your own neighborhood,
Yeah.
It's like, times are changing right in your own neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I remember it was always the same color, one color, and now you got all types of different color leaves.
Yeah.
There's some movies I watch every year when it's this time of year. I watch Pet Sematary. I love Pet Sematary.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the one that I actually will watch it each time. I really do love that movie. It's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite scary movie. It's not that scary. It's not because I don't like gore. I'm not a gore guy. I don't like gore. I don't like blood so much.
Do you like Al Gore?
I could take him or leave him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind him.
leave him.
I wouldn't mind him. You'd rather leave him.
Do you? What was the movie you just mentioned? I totally blacked out.
You're fantasizing about Al Gore.
I remember what you said, and I totally forgot.
You're bad. You're bad at these. Then I can't have you doing this. It's a Pet Sematary. You know Pet Sematary.
Yeah,
you've seen it.
Great one.
It's a good one, man. I like it. It's just fucked up. It's scary without being. Okay, so like the whole threat to that, the underlying tone that scares me in that movie is not even the scary people that come back possessed.
Yeah.
It's just the feeling. It's almost like awkward. It's just like very uncomfortable. Like the funeral that happens, the couple of funerals that happen with the dude like attacks the dad.
I hope you rot in hell! Where were you when he was playing in the road? You stinking shit! You killer of children!
It's just
tension. It's like dark tension.
The tension, the tension of it. There's like the antagonist isn't just this. You think of like Chucky. Obviously, the antagonist is the doll is gonna stab you. Some movies like that are missing that certain kind of tension that are just gripping to me.
Yeah,
and I think Pet Sematary has that.
And there are a lot of like horror movies that didn't really do a good job with the endings. But I think like you're saying, yeah, the experience of watching them. Like there was one movie called The Boogeyman that came out probably 10 years ago. When they started doing, there was no special. It was all special effects, but there's no like 80s types of animatronics or anything like that.
Oh yeah, it's actually all real time.
But it was bullshit special effects, and they kind of ruined the movie. That's what they did. They showed the antagonist like way too early too, so you weren't scared of him towards, like you'd already seen him. So
you're not waiting for it anymore.
Yeah, but the feeling of it was really good up until the ending. Like there was just the leaves blowing around with the music, and everything the whole package of it was great until the ending. I thought The Boogeyman. Have you seen that?
Wait, what's the movie? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of everything you just said right now. I just forgot everything. I was thinking about Al Gore.
I understand.
I don't remember anything.
Just like the leaves blowing, and then there was like the swing set with like just it was great. The sounds from the music were really everything's perfect.
All of that stuff, I think. All of those little like things that you put into a film, they become more pronounced with scary movies because you really use those. You just use like shots and angles and lighting and shadows. You really you use that to make a film out of it. Like that's not something you would see in like comedies and stuff. Comedy is all about just dialogue and just maybe you might use shots here and there, but
true. Yeah,
it's all about that with scary movies, and some people are really good at doing that.
Oh, here's a good one. It's not like a horror movie, but it's kind of like an 80s fun horror movie. Fright Night.
Yeah, Fright Night.
Oh, I fucking love that movie, man.
Fright Night is
fucking love it.
You're not gonna believe this. There are two guys out in the yard, and I think they're carrying a coffin.
Do you want to make love or not?
What's the one who has like the werewolf? It has Dracula. It's got literally it's got a mummy, and he's like Dracula's like, give me the amulet, you bitch. What is that movie?
It was the little kid. Yeah. That's the same type of like kind of genre, same time frame, but it wasn't. That movie wasn't funny. Like I know what movie you're talking about. Oh, shit,
we
should look it up.
Great
really
movie,
quick.
though.
I feel like there's an older man I think he's a vampire, and he's yelling at this this little child who's like,
it's a kid. It's like a little girl who has an amulet,
and he's just shaking her and spitting in her face, and it's disturbing. And it was supposed to be the cover looks like a friendly movie, like it was one of those painted covers, and it looks like a very friendly sort of premise, like, oh, here, let's watch it. It's gonna be like The Witches or something like that, where it's gonna be cute.
Oh, that's the Monster Squad.
Oh my gosh,
Dracula.
Yeah, it's a cute name.
Man.
It's a cute name for a movie.
Yeah, and the way the characters are designed, they're designed like very like prototypical
What do you got?
cookie cutter. They're not like necessarily terrifying.
Right, they're not. They're just friendly, kind of like, looks like Halloween costumes.
It's a dark movie. It's pretty dark though.
Fucked up.
I like it. It almost makes it darker that they're in these kind of Halloween costumes, but they're actually like really fucked up.
But Fright Night had I don't know, just the leaves, all those the wet pavement and all the scenes. Like you can feel, like you watch it in the middle of summertime, but you feel the chill in the air when you watch it. Like you get the chills, you get goosebumps, and you feel like, oh man, I wish you want it to be fall. You want like a pumpkin coffee or something like that, or you just want to go to a scarecrow, go to a maze. It just makes you want to go.
Yeah, I think that's a good job. That's the whole intention. If you can't succeed, it's hard to just make people feel those emotions just out of visuals that you're showing. Visuals mixed with music, and just like it's not as easy as it might seem to do that.
People overthink it, just people.
I notice a lot of independent films there's a lot of independent films that are supposed to be scary. I don't know why people lean on that, and I feel like if you're making an indie film,
trash.
If you're making an indie film with not a lot of money, the last kind of movie you'd want to make is a scary one, because you need everything. You need like good performers. You need really good performers, and you need like some pretty elaborate shots, I think, to make.
That's why there's so many shitty B horror movies. It's so easy to make a shitty, easy B.
I guess it's easy to make it, but none of them work. I can't sit through any of them.
They're not scary.
They're
None
awful.
of them are scary. I think like a lot of those are, the point is you have to watch them for the comedy. It's kind of like the comedy of it, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep making things and doing a bad job at it, and you say, well, that's the comedy, then I'm kind of bored. I'm already bored of you.
I'd just rather watch a comedy.
I'd rather watch a comedy.
Those bad horror movies that are kind of comedies, I would rather just watch a comedy. Like if I'm not in the mood for it, unless I'm just in some weird mood where I want to watch a Halloween flick but also want to laugh. That's kind of a niche area for you.
Why don't you and I write a romantic thriller, but it's gonna be really bad, and then people are like, oh, why this doesn't seem like a good romantic thriller, and then we say, well, that's the comedy. I guess maybe that's The Room. I guess I don't know, but
I was gonna say, I was trying to think of something.
But you can only go to the well so many times with that. You can only go.
Yeah.
Speaking of The Room, have you heard about this? They're doing a movie. James Franco and Seth Rogen and all that gang. They're doing a movie about The Room, about the making of The Room. Like James Franco is supposed to play Tommy Wiseau.
Okay.
Have you heard of that?
I haven't.
It was really upsetting. I heard about it, and then I see, and like, of course, like those are like the big shots, that like Hollywood tells us is like the most hilarious people. They're fine. I mean, I don't hate them, but I've had enough of all of those people. This is what it reminded me of. It reminded me of like when I would go to high school. I'd always like bring. I transferred schools a lot, so I'd try to get attention by like bringing just weird gags. I'd always find like a joke shop.
Yeah.
I'd bring like Groucho glasses or just hand buzzers. I have a hand buzzer in my living room right now. I'd bring like
I had the chicken. I had the Batman mask. I had it all.
Yeah,
buddy, I had it all. All right?
Little shit that's just funny. And so I would bring that to school, and then like the cool kids would come and they'd think I was funny. They think it's cool. They'd be, oh shit, where'd you get that? And then they'd be like, oh, let me see that. And then they would take it, and then they would go to like another lunch table and be like, look, I got a rubber chicken. Is it funny?
Yeah.
This is what's happening. This is the cool kids coming in, swooping in on Tommy Wiseau's like the fandom from this like cult movie, and they want in on it, and they're gonna fucking generate revenue off of it. It's kind of like upsetting. It's not fair.
You know what it tells me? Here's what it tells me. It tells me that people are very thirsty for ideas, and original ideas are a good original idea is so hard to come by, and I don't know what's going on, but we just can't. When's the last time you saw, I mean, like you remember really appreciating a good original idea? Because it just seems like everything is a copy of a copy, and I know that's kind of culture and kind of art itself. Everything is, people derive inspiration from someone else, but at what point you have to be able to. There's got to be some pride there, right? I can't handle another, especially that movie. I don't know. There's something right when you said that. I didn't even know exactly what you were going to say, but I kind of I felt a twinge of kind of
like resentment,
repulsion.
Almost.
I'm not interested in it. I don't. You're gonna ruin it. I don't know.
You're gonna ruin it, and yeah, now you're taking something that's beloved by so many people because it's just offbeat.
Yeah.
And then you got these very on-beat people, Hollywood names, who want a part of it. You can't. I just feel like you shouldn't be allowed to do that. I don't want your hands on it.
You really gave the perfect analogy there. I wish I could compound that, but that was good, man. That was really good. It fits perfectly. It fits perfectly. People don't want to come up.
They see it. They recognize it. They recognize, oh, that's cool. And then you've got some power, and you want to be like, well, I want in on that. I want some attention because of that. And I just think the biggest thing is I don't think it's fair. It just isn't fair. Like, I think Tommy Wiseau, he sells like underwear now. I don't think he has very much money.
Yeah.
I don't know his story, but it seems like I don't think he made very much money from that film. And I just feel like I don't know. And the rights actually to this are going to another character, Mark, the guy who played Mark in The Room. They're not. A lot of this money I think is going to him.
Wow.
Not to Tommy Wiseau.
Okay. Here's a question. What's the one horror movie, and we're both really into Halloween. We are both into it, but like, I guess I kind of what you said resonates with me. I'm not really big into horror movies. I like movies, but I just like I mostly like the imagery from Halloween movies. I don't know. I have a few that are favorite. That one or two that really got to me growing up or watching it. So I want to ask you, which ones did you watch that really, like, you, even as an adult, you had trouble sleeping? You know, you had trouble kind of.
There's a movie called The Gate that's from the 80s or late 70s. It's about poltergeists. It's called The Gate, and they use a lot of the special effects are like
Poltergeists.
It's about poltergeists.
Chicken men. Poultry guys.
Yeah, it's the evil ghosts of chicken. Poltergeists. And actually, it sounds funny, man, but that would be kind of weird. Actually, that would fuck me up if that was a movie. No, it's about poltergeists, and they use clay and like weird wax as their special effects. There's like a melting phone and like that kind of stuff. You know, you remember that? How they would? It's really. Me
and Fuller watched that. Our friend Steve, our mutual friend Steve, we watched that in his apartment in Schaumburg. It was a terrifying.
The Gate?
Terrifying movie.
So you did see it. You
Very
remember,
terrifying.
You're thinking of that melting phone as what it's
yeah.
just, and the screaming and this just the desperation of the people in that house. Like it was scary to me.
It seemed like people in like 50s and 40s and that anyone in the past when people screamed, they were a lot more desperate. I think people are not as scared anymore in scary movies. They're not screaming as much. They're not none of the blood curdling screams.
Yeah. Oh, the Wilhelm scream. That's one of the most famous Hollywood screams. It's still used, I think, now.
Really?
They use that in. Some guy, something Wilhelm, recorded that years ago in the 40s or 50s, and it was like one of the best screams ever. And they just throw that in. It's found in a lot of films now because it just has that guttural.
Yeah, it's like the original Screamo. Kind of.
Oh, yeah. He was so screamo, dude. He was the screamoist guy. He was very emo, sad and scared. But that's cool. But you're right, because people really screaming. Well, I think like 70s, 80s era scary movies really relied on that scream. Man, remember The Shining. The Shining.
Yeah.
Shelley Duvall, that she was going for it in that movie. A lot of people criticize her for being over the top or whatever.
Who the fuck criticized her?
Stanley Kubrick even criticized her for just that. He psychologically abused her so much in the making of that movie. But she was going for that classic horror damsel in distress.
The one movie that really got to me that I had trouble sleeping. There's one called 1408. You remember that with John Cusack?
Yeah.
I was crying. I cried. I mean, there's a lot of shit that he went through, and just like in the process of fighting or dealing with this paranormal entity that he was dealing with, like the entity was almost his past, or his demons that he was fighting, or what. So it was just a lot of, and you can relate to that. And then you have seen that, you said?
I have seen it. I do remember it being. It's just he's by himself in most of that movie, right? And I think that's a unique way to shoot something and to build a whole story around just him and his experience in that room, which I think that's probably why it's so memorable. I don't know, and he's obviously one of the classic American actor. Like he sold it.
Yeah,
and,
really good.
One that I don't know if you have some that you just absolutely hate.
Like, wow, okay.
All of the Paranormal Activity ones, I think, are ridiculous.
They were fine, but I don't know. Maybe the first ones kind of scared me a little bit, but then after that, it was just more of like we saw one. Remember, we went to the drive-in theater.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated all of them.
We went to. It's boring.
We even saw it at a drive-in in fall. It was perfect, sitting in the back of a pickup truck watching that. But I wanted to watch a film, and those are not films to me.
Yeah.
It's all on security footage, security camera.
Sucks.
You're gonna really. I feel like what the reason I go see like Hollywood movies because I want to see things that I can't do.
Yeah.
I don't want to see things that I could have done. Like I want to see a production. Yeah. And you're showing the whole movie on this home camera footage.
But it's kind of like, but I think that's probably it. Just people were, what probably was people were running out of ideas. So they're like, oh, what actually scares people the most? Oh, reality scares people the most. What's real? Regular footage, right? So
sure.
that's
I get the concept. Yeah, and it's a lot like.
No, I don't think you get it, man. All right, let me explain it to you. All right. Life isn't just cherries and puppy dogs and hummingbirds. All right, dude. Life is fucking hard, and sometimes you gotta pack it up. You gotta deal with it. All right. And maybe you just couldn't deal with the reality of how scary it was. Maybe that's that. Let's talk about that. What are you running from? What are you running from?
I'm running from bad movies that are insulting to me, because. You know what it's like. You're a songwriter. You try to put all the bells and whistles where you can. You try to fit it in, because somebody's going to be listening to your music and they're going to be judging like who made this, and you want to be able to say like, oh, I made it and I did everything I could. I did everything I could to make this impressive. And when you watch movies like that, I just feel like I know that the creators of the movie didn't do that.
Right.
And I don't know. Like I feel like that was a branch off of. Blair Witch, like just
no doubt.
Just
That's
raw
exactly
footage stuff, like raw footage where I feel like even that, like we could have gone out and anybody really could have done it. And I get it. I hate it where you say, "Oh, I could have done it," but you didn't, man.
Right.
Well, I didn't because it's a dumb idea. That's why I didn't do it.
I don't think it was a dumb idea. I think it fit exactly where it needed to. I think it's just kind of a cheap thrill, and it was kind of fun, the first time.
No, I will give it that it was something different because you can't just keep making Monster Squad all the time over and over.
Right.
So it was like reality TV was becoming popular, like Fear Factor was on TV, and then that shit was like being. So you're right, it did fit. It fit in culture, like where it should have been. But I'm not proud of it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you're not proud of, right? There's one movie that I don't think a lot of people have really seen, but I see it on TV once in a while, and I have it just because I just fucking love it. I watch it all the time. But it's starring James Woods, and it's called John Carpenter's Vampires. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, seen that.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen?
You're just gonna keep naming movies till I haven't seen it.
I fucking love that movie, and I feel like a lot of people haven't seen it. It's also got one of the Baldwin brothers in it.
Ever since his parents were murdered by vampires, Jack Crow, James Woods, has had one purpose in life: putting stakes through bloodsuckers' hearts. Wow. Woo! With his battle-hardened crew of vampire killers and his assistance of the Catholic Church, Crow roams the New Mexico deserts looking for undead lairs.
Ooh.
Is that the movie?
That's the one. Who's the Baldwin brother in it?
Who's the Baldwin? They don't mention him. He's a Baldwin brother. He's at the bottom.
I think
he's not even in there.
Billy?
There's so many of those guys. Who knows?
Come on, look it up.
I did this much work.
You're already there. There's a cast. A button that says cast.
I'm gonna pass it over to you. You can look it up.
Daniel Baldwin.
Daniel Baldwin. I can't even understand. I can't even put a face to Daniel Baldwin. Who is Daniel? Okay,
he looked
wow.
a lot better in the movie. Look, he's.
What's the deal with like the Baldwins and the Sheens and the what's going on?
And the Estevez thing. I don't know. There's a connection. I'm just not sure what it is.
I don't know if there's a connection between the two of those families, but both of those families, there's like, they just have so many people. They roll deep. Those motherfuckers roll
weird, like the Bushes
deep.
And Clinton. I don't know. There's this weird family connection.
So many of them.
I thought of a really good one that I just can't believe that I didn't think of before. It's not really a Halloween movie, but it is a supernatural flick with like supernatural elements, really a lot. And it's called The Ninth Gate. Have you seen that?
Oh, I've seen The Ninth Gate.
I fucking love it.
It's got Chris Kattan.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Bullshit.
I think
it's a load of horse shit.
I think it's got Chris Kattan.
You don't fucking know.
But you like that one?
I fucking love it. And I love the French girl that's in it. I fucking love everything about it. It's so over the top. Even though Roman Polanski is a child raper, I mean, it's still a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah. What Rosemary's Baby, one of the best films ever made. And
weren't you mentioning that before, Hazel?
It's Hazel's favorite. It's Molly's favorite too. That movie is
Yeah.
really just visually striking. That is a
I don't know if I've ever fucking
film.
seen it.
Oh my God, you really.
Should we watch it tonight?
If we can find it somewhere,
Yeah.
that is a film, and that's with Roman Polanski and even with Woody Allen and with all like. I mean,
You got to be able to separate the art from the artist.
You just have to,
you know?
and anyone. I'm not obviously. Yeah, it's weird. You guys are weird. What are you doing? Probably weird guys, but there's a lot of weird guys who haven't made Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. Right.
So-
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, everybody does capable of fucked up things, and who knows what actually fucking happened. I don't know.
Imagine cornering like a pedophile or a sexual predator. I don't know the deal with him. They're like teens, right, or something. There's a name for that. What's the name for that when they're hemophiliacs?
Because hemophiliac is a bleeder, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a bleeder. Oh, hey, old enough to bleed, old enough to breed. All right.
Good fucking Lord.
But so. Okay, so imagine imagine confronting somebody who
can't just go back to a regular conversation after that.
No, think about it. Imagine cornering a dude who he likes to fuck 15-year-old girls, and you fucking corner him into it, and you're like, hey, man, what do you have to say for yourself? What the fuck do you have to say for yourself? And he goes, I made Rosemary's Baby.
Watch my movie.
I'd be like, okay, that's something. You had something. I mean, still, you shouldn't have done the thing, but it's cool you did the other thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where I swear to God, Chris Kattan was in Ninth Gate.
No, you're thinking of you are thinking of
House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill. That's what.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I had that totally mixed up. So he wasn't. Was Johnny Depp
love
in Ninth
that
Gate?
movie.
Who was in
Johnny
Ninth?
Depp.
Okay.
Johnny Depp.
You love how House on Haunted Hill was
That's
scary.
a great one too. I love it.
That was pretty scary. That's what I forgot
great
about.
Fucking movie.
The Ninth Gate, and she's got it pulled up, and it does not have Chris Kattan.
No, but Johnny
know
Depp
Johnny
was
Depp's in it.
so good. It was so fucking. Can you look up who was the female lead? Oh my god,
Emmanuel Sunier. Let's have a look at this human.
Oh, she's so gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I like her. Those eyebrows. Those are some
The
prominent
eyebrows
brows.
are fucking great.
Yeah, I'm into it.
What is it? Are there any other pictures of her?
Wow.
I guess you never got her movie. I know you never got her name. Yeah, they never gave her name.
Right. But she's witchy, I thought.
She's so witchy. She's
Yeah,
so witchy.
fuck yeah.
She's so mysterious. And she just has like these shitty jeans on, and she has like New Balance shoes on, and that's it. She was. I'm not even kidding. She's
Wow.
not wearing anything special. She's just wearing like a t-shirt.
That's great.
And New Balance, and she's got the French. She's like playing dumb the whole movie. Like, Johnny Depp's like, "Why are you following me?" And she's like, "What do you mean? I'm just here."
You said you were a student.
Did I? So I am, in a way. I like books. Do you?
When you talk about the music for Ninth Gate, and you talk about the way it makes you feel,
Yeah. It was all by Huey Lewis too, which is weird. The whole soundtrack.
yeah, Huey Lewis.
Tip to be square.
Randy Newman.
Yeah.
The whole score of the Ninth Gate is by Randy Newman
You're
and
going
Huey
for the
Lewis.
Same joke, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
But no, you mentioned something to me years ago about something called infrasound.
Ooh, yeah.
And that is really, that's used a lot in scary movies. They use that frequency a lot.
Yeah.
And just the quick, like very quick, and it does something. It changes your whole like metaphysical, it just changes things for a minute.
What's weird, because all really music is just vibration. So, I mean,
Right.
if music can make you feel the same way, then why can't just the vibration itself make you feel a certain way too?
It absolutely does, yeah.
You know?
And you do trance. I think trance is, it's one of those things. Everything matters. The BPMs, the frequency that you're using,
Yeah.
the whatever harmonies you might use in it, if any. But it really takes you somewhere.
Yeah.
And it really grabs you. And I feel like there's a reason why. This is like a conspiracy almost to me, but like the reason why like top 40 music doesn't include stuff like that. I feel like that's by design. Like even if you hear like a feel good song on the radio that was popular, I feel like the powers that be or whoever, they don't want to overexpose people to things like trance, and even things like, I've been listening to a lot of just like chill wave stuff. I like things like taiko and stuff like that.
Feel a certain way. It's like the raw feeling of whatever it is.
It makes you feel a little more just conscious. It elevates you a little bit to another, like a little bit more conscious. It just brings you a little bit up. And I feel like there's a reason why you'll never hear that stuff like broadcasted on terrestrial radio. Because I don't feel like people want people to feel that way. They want us kind of in a lull.
It's both. I think it's both. I think it's when you start. I thought about this a lot too. Like just I don't have a hate for pop music, for popular music. There's nothing to hate about it. It's just so easy listening sometimes that it just seems like background music more than even background music, because
it's not. I can't put it in the background sometimes. And I'm not even saying this as like I'm this cool cultured man. I like things that are better.
I hear. No, I understand.
But every time if I go in an Uber, like I know that they're trying to just play the middle ground, and they'll just play top 40. It really just beats me down.
I think when you're grinding through life, right? Like most people are grinding 9 to 5 all the fucking time. I gotta fucking pay the bills. I gotta get the kids fed. I gotta go to work on time. I gotta go to sleep on time so I can get to work, so I'm not miserable the whole next day. And then by the time you start that, it's a grind. The next fucking day starts.
Yeah.
And then there's just not a lot of time in between that to think, to balance yourself. And I think just the radio stuff you hear on the radio is just kind of just background music, just to help you, just to fucking get you going. Sometimes when I'm just numb, pop music, actually, I don't even hate it. I don't care what the song is. It's just I need to hear something stupid, you know?
Sure, no, and I appreciate pop. I'm not one of these people who just completely hates pop, but like it's one of those things though. Even when I try to put it like I'll be in a lot of times this happens to me in grocery stores or like certain stores that play just top 40 or Ubers, and I feel like I try to put it in the background, and I don't listen to music, and there's no such thing as background music to me. Like I'm either listening to music or I'm not. And if it's on, I'm listening to it, and I just can't ignore it. And it's just it's fucking awful. But I do feel like the way those songs are structured, it's no accident. You have to if we get into like deep, like music changes people, and it's
no doubt
immediate. It changes you. So if you were to agree that there are a handful of people who are in control of what gets exposed en masse when it comes to music, why would those people want you to hear the shit that makes you feel amazing? Why would they? They kind of want you in a lull. They want you almost pacified in a way. Like you said, you're just grinding and you're grinding. You just hear a thing like, oh, I like this.
The pacifying.
I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night. Like it's a kind of a feel good, but it's not exactly taking you anywhere. It's not elevating you.
It's not enlightening you or making you really just think about your life or making you question things. And I don't know, and none of it. I don't. Yeah, like you said, I don't think it's
not just lyrically
bad or anything. I just think it's part of society. I think that's even like in the 70s and 80s. Foreigner wasn't making you think. I mean, it was a little more abrasive. It was a little more fun, I think. But that's subjective.
Sure, it's not even like lyrically what makes you think. It's just the actual frequencies used in. A lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
The just sonically, aurally, like what you're hearing is just like, the boys are back in town. The boys have been in town forever.
Where the fuck were they before? Where did they leave?
How often do they play The Boys Are Back in Town on a daily basis? Like, dude, I know. Can they please go out of town? Can they leave town?
I just want to know why they left in the first place. If they were such good boys.
Yeah, the boys have never fucking left.
If they never left, why did they leave? They're such good friends. Why the fuck did they leave in the first place? That's not. You know what though? But I was thinking about music and people are like, well, why do people listen to this type of music or why this and that? And I started to get a little bit. I felt like I got a little bit of a better grip on it because of formats that music is played in. Like every type of music has a format, and like people will talk shit about the format, like, oh man, I only make abstract music. Well, abstract music is easy to fucking make. You're just gonna clang a few fucking drumsticks around and then fucking play
there's noise, there's
no format. But the format kind of it's really difficult to turn a melody and make it into like a format for someone to listen to, like a trance. The format is intro. There's an intro, so DJs can play it, and there's the break, and then the build, the drop, the outro, and then that format is the most effective way for people to get enjoyment out of that format. So we put the beat into that format and the melodies and everything into that. Jazz, there's gonna be like kind of a summit of the song where you reach depending on what kind of jazz it is, or rock. You have the
verse, chorus, solo.
That's the most effective way to get
totally.
that. Yeah, but
I mean, there is the format, and everything has a format, but it's okay to tiptoe outside.
Of course, yeah. You should find the format and see which types of ways. But sometimes when you take one thing out of format, you have to make sure that you bring the other thing out of the format. Like if you date a girl that's got really big fucking tits, like. If she's got a really big ass too, she's fat. So you need to make sure that she just has big tits and not a big ass. So everything's in balance. Do I have a microphone?
You've been mic'd up this whole time, man. You've been mic'd.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I didn't sign anything.
Well, that's how I make it raw. You don't have to sign anything.
I didn't sign anything.
You don't have to.
I know sign.
If you want to pursue the legalities, then you can take me to the claims court. You can sue me. You can seek out the legal.
Oh, you're in store for a long battle uphill.
I don't think you're gonna do it. I think I could do anything I want with your voice and your rights. I could do anything I want, and I don't think you'll do a damn thing about it. I think you'll back down. You won't go. You don't want to go to the trouble. So I could use your likeness, your voice, even your music. I could do whatever I want with it.
I want to go with the treble.
Where is it? Beatport. What's the Beatport? What's the track? What's the track we're looking for at Beatport? You got a bunch of them, huh?
Yeah, a bunch. But I think my best track is probably "Love in an Airport," which gets released on Discover.
Oh, that's on Discover. Okay.
And then there's a track that's coming out pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about it on trance legend Solar Stone on his label in a month or two, and that one's going to be. I'm pretty excited about that. That's a big step.
So Solar Stone, that's a collaboration with Solar Stone?
Not a collaboration, but it's on his label.
It's on his label.
Pure Trance.
Yeah, badass, man. Well, that's cool. We'll look for you.
Thanks, buddy.
And
what's your name again?